What's up, guys? Man on the Moon here with my first Walking Dead All-Stars video. And for this one, I just wanted to go through some of the characters that I've found really just super useful at the beginning of the game for me. Don't know how they'll translate to like the end game, but there's a couple that have been really clutch for me. One place or another. So, yeah, I'm going to go through them and then just go over which skills in particular I think are what make them, like, especially good or useful. Before we get to that, though, I would like to remind you guys to hit the like and subscribe button for more content. I'm liking this game, so I'm going to be making more videos on it for sure. Now, first up for me is just Kate in general. Her ult is just really powerful. It's just a really good AoE, and she's powered me through the a lot of the story mode so far. I'm around about halfway through Area 14 at the moment, and she's just been my MVP. The other skill of hers that I've found super useful is this fourth ability. During combat, Kate throws a ghillie suit to grant a 300% attack shield to two comrades. This shield is granted to front row comrades first and stays active for 7 seconds. And then for the level 2, comrades that receive a shield have evasion increased by 90. That's just so good. I mean, she's, helping them not get hit and then preventing damage if they do. It's just really good, especially when paired with tanks up in the front row. Next up, we got Abraham. I mean, he's just so good. I don't even need to. I mean, he's just so good. His ult is just. I mean, it's just big damage. Damage over time, it's pretty good. I'd say the best part about him is probably going to be these two abilities, just because there's, on top of the fact that they're dealing good damage, 150% attack off the pistol hit, and then swings his axe, dealing 200% attack as damage and knocking him down. So you're dealing damage twice plus controlling them. And then, the beginning of the fight throws a rope, dealing 130% attack as damage, pulling all enemies within range toward him. That's just, there again, super good control. I'd be nowhere near this far in the world if I didn't have him. Just even at Epic, just regular Epic, he was just plowing through. Alright, so next up is Shane. We get him, everybody gets him super early. I'm pretty sure, you're just guaranteed him. I think he's pretty much just your first Epic. But he's got a couple abilities that just make him really good, at least in the early game. One of them being his ult grants a shield to all comrades that blocks 500% attack damage for 10 seconds. And then the level 2 restores 3% max HP every second for the duration. So 30% to everybody total. That's really good. Besides the fact that he's blocking, he's putting up a shield that's blocking damage. The heal, it just in its own is good. His second ability's not bad. Swing an axe downward, dealing 150% attack to nearby enemies, stunning them for 1 second. If he's got 3 people in front of him, it's nice to be able to control all of them for even just 1 second, His third ability restores 200% attack as HP to the lowest comrade. HP restoration increases as your HP becomes lower. There again, just more heals. And having heals on your tank, it seems really good in my mind. Next up, we got Rosita. And she's just kind of cool because she's not a tank, but she can tank. And it's just because of these passives. Like, her abilities are okay. Like, her ult, Rosita slips behind a random enemy to deal 250% attack as damage, knocking him down. Then she fires 3 shots that deal 110% attack as damage to the knockdown enemy. And then at level 2, she slips behind the lowest HP enemy. So, she just kind of coup de grace him. Not bad, but it's not great. Her second move fires 3 shots that deal 100% attack as damage to enemies in the front. Level 3 increases evasion by 60 during the skill, but really it's just about these passives. During combat, when receiving damage, evades all attacks for 1 second. This effect triggers once every 10 seconds. At level 2, counterattacks the attacker, returning 200% attack as damage when Rosita receives damage during her basic attack. So, I mean, she's just evading like crazy and then counterattacking. And then that dodge, evade increases by 70% until combat ends. But at level 2, that buff is huge, During combat, every successful evasion recovers 30 energy. Like, you put her in the front row against somebody like a Sarah, for instance. Like, if Sarah were to jump behind her and hit and, go after her, she does like 3 or 4 hits right away. That'd be 120 energy just right there as soon as the fight starts. And then because of that, her ult suddenly becomes like just nasty because it's just going to be going off all the time. And there again, she just, you get her evade high enough and she can just sit there on the front line. And, I mean, she doesn't necessarily tank. She just doesn't get hit. Next up, we got Glenn. He's just really useful. He's really just support and heal. His ult is really good. Shoots a flare in the air, triggering the following effects for all targets within range except Glenn. Comrades obtain 80 energy every second for 3 seconds. Their attack is increased by 30% for 6 seconds and a 50% chance to stun up to 3 enemies within range. So basically he's just, giving your guys their ultimate quicker and giving them an attack buff when it goes off, which is nice. Attack buffs are always fun. His big one though has got to be his third ability. On entering combat, places 3 drinks in front of him. When the HP of a comrade falls below 50%, a drink is consumed, restoring that comrade's HP by 30% max HP. And then once the level 2 comes in, drinks replenish themselves once they're all gone. That's just permanent healing. It's so good. And, I mean, he's got damage reduction for himself with his passive. During combat, if incoming damage is greater than 15% max HP, 50 energy will be used to block it. And it can trigger every 3 seconds, so it's actually got a really short cooldown for something like that. Next up, we got Gabriel. I've just found him really good for control and utility and support. His ult deals 120% attack as damage to all enemies on the field, which, kind of whatever. But then he removes all their debuffs, and then at level 2, it removes all your it cleanses all your debuffs. So that's really good. His third ability might be the best control, like single target control. that I've seen so far. Gabriel signals his comrades to attack, causing a ladder to be dropped on the enemy with the highest attack. The ladder deals 40% attack, removing the target from combat for 6 seconds. It's just, you can get him paired with other controllers where it'll just be like the highest attack character is just essentially removed from combat permanently until the end when you need to destroy him. Just because it'll, chain effect where they just get, the ladder tosses him up and somebody else will yank him out, and it can, keep going forever. So fun. Next up, we got Sebastian. He's got a couple parts of him that are really good, I've found. I need to get some better gear on him and get him leveled up a bit more, because I think late game he's actually going to be really good. But even in the early game, I'm pretty sure there's a few stages that only got past strictly because of his control. His ult spreads powdered veterinary anesthetic around the battlefield to stun all enemies for 4 seconds. Enemies under anesthesia cannot attack and will receive additional damage equal to 25% damage taken during anesthesia after the effect ends. Level 2, it goes up to 5 seconds. That's just everybody getting taken out. That is everybody, everybody is asleep for 4 or 5 seconds. And sometimes that's all you need to just get that extra little bit of heal or to get a shield up or, whatever the case may be. Sometimes 4 seconds, everybody is, all the enemies not doing anything is just all you need to win. His third ability is also really good. Summons Max behind the enemy with the highest attack and has Max drag them out of the battlefield. Enemies out of the battlefield cannot engage in battle for 4 seconds. He's one of the characters that I would say pairs really well with Gabriel, just because Gabriel can toss them up, and then as soon as they come back into battle, a lot of time Sebastian will have Max just yank him back out for another 4 seconds. And then Abe can pull him in, and then by the time Abe's done pulling him in, Gabriel's reset to where the ladder's dropping on him again. Can be a really fun combo. Alright, so those were a few of the characters that I've been using quite a bit so far. As you can see up there, I'm at stage 1411, and these are just a lot of the characters that have been just carrying me through the world map so far. If you have any others that you've been using that aren't on my list, let me know down in the comments below, because I definitely have not looked at every single character yet. I don't have these characters memorized yet, and even a lot of the ones I do have, I just haven't necessarily used them yet because I haven't needed to. So yeah, definitely let me know who you guys have been using, who's been helping you get through the world map, and let me know where you are on the world map, what stage you're on. That's all I got for this one though, guys. Stay tuned for more Walking Dead All-Star videos. And remember, it is a game, so try and have fun. This is going to be your friendly neighborhood man on the moon, signing off. Later, guys.